This is Gavin with First World Survival, and today I will be teaching you how to make wood-tipped arrows. So you will need straight sticks, any stick that's straight and pretty, not bendy, just pretty firm. Then you will need some duct tape, usually bright colors is better so you don't lose the arrows. And then something to shave the bark off, or just a knife. So first you will start by shaving all the bark off of the stick. You usually don't want to shave too much by using this part. You want to go just like this, and it shaves just the right amount of bark off. Okay guys, now that the stick has all its bark shaved off, you want to make sure there's no knots in the wood or like any bumps, because you want the arrow to fly smooth right off of the bow. So once you make sure there's no bumps, mine was already like that, you want to cut off the ends and make it so it's clear and smooth so you can start carving it as a tip. What you want to do is just take your knife and chop at it. You can either do this, or if you want to get a head start on shaping it, you can chop at an angle like this and it'll come off pretty close to a tip. You just have to shape it up a bit. Okay, after you do that, what you want to do is start carving it. So you should take your knife, put it in your dominant hand, and then hold it like this and use your thumb to just push it off and cut off little pieces. You want to do this pretty, I don't know how to say it, but I guess take your time on it and do it very neat. And don't take off big chunks or else it won't be as good. You want to make it so it gradually goes into the tip part. So it starts off and gets smaller and smaller, but slowly. This part shouldn't take more than a couple minutes at most. Okay, now if you're using your green stick like me that you freshly cut off of the plant or tree, what you're going to want to do is either fire harden it over fire or just let it sit out in the sun for a few days. And then, okay, after that part, you want to carve it when it's green first and then just let it dry when it's already shaped, or else it gets really hard to shape. And then after that, you want to work on making the little nock for the arrow. Right here I already have one that's semi good, but for most of you, you might not have this. And if you don't have this, what you want to do is make it so it's clean at the end and pretty flat, and then just dig in so it looks like kind of a U or a Y. I got another stick here just to show you an example of what I mean. So you want to just be careful on this part, because there's a lot of close calls I've had where I almost cut my finger. But what you want to do is just dig in. You want to make lines first of how far you want it, and that should be about whatever string size you use. Just make sure that it can fit. And if it can't fit now, you can always make it fit later. And you want to take your knife and just cut off some pieces on the edges first, and then you go in the middle, because it's easier to cut off an edge than just start cutting off in the middle. What you want to do now is take your bow and just get the groove that you made and rub it along the string. This will make it a little bit deeper, and it will also clean it out kind of like sandpaper would. This makes it so you know for sure that it will fit on your bow. Because if it's too tight, then it won't fire and it'll just like go like that maybe. And then if it's too loose, it's better to be looser than tighter for this one. But if it's way too loose, then you probably cut too far and it'll snap off. But yeah, so you want it so the whole string can fit in. This one's almost done. Just gotta cut it a little bit deeper. And you don't want it to chip, or else it'll split the whole arrow and you'll have to redo it, or you'll have to use another arrow. Yep, okay, so this one's good. I still haven't taken the bark off this one, and I'll be showing you how to make the feathers on this one, but right now we're going to be using tape. Tape works just as good as feathers. So you want to take probably like a brighter color tape or reflective tape, and you want to go to the end of the arrow, probably maybe 2 inches, maybe an inch or a little bit less below the nock. And what you want to do is get it on like that, and then fold it over and make sure the edges of this one are also on the arrow too. You don't want it to be just on the tape, or else it will fall off. Now you want to crease the tape, and now you want to make another one. You want to keep it the same string of tape so it doesn't fall off. You want to keep doing the same thing for 3 of them. And then let it go again onto the top piece of tape, and then cut the tape, and it should be good. And I've lost a lot of arrows because I didn't use reflective tape or bright color tape, and it's just a pain because you have to keep making new arrows. So what you want to do is get it on here. Make sure there's 2 here, then the one piece of tape is on the outside so it doesn't get stuck. And then you put it on your bow, pull it back, and then fire. And it should be good.